Hi, I'm Dr. Funke Afolabi Brown. I'm the founder of Restful Sleep MD. Have you ever had that one night or even a series of nights where you've just had really bad sleep and you feel like everything is just going to the wash? You feel like this is the reason why your day is probably going to be catastrophic. You're trying everything and you just have a hard time. And in fact, when you're in that period, you're having those thoughts, oh my goodness, I'm going to mess up at that meeting, that presentation because I didn't sleep well. I'm going to yell on my kids. It's just going to be horrible. What I want you to do is just stop, because what then happens is those thoughts, those non-constructive thoughts then sort of escalate and then may become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And in the evening, even if it seems like things didn't go well, then you go back to say, well, I knew that was going to happen because I didn't sleep well. Today, I want to talk about what you can do to still optimize your day, even after you've had a night of really rough sleep. One thing we note is that even with one night of not sleeping well, that mental fogginess, the fatigue, and the exhaustion may actually set in right away. But it does not have to take over in that sense. So I have a few recommendations on how to jumpstart your day, even if you felt like you had a night where you didn't sleep well. Now, this is different from when you've now had a series of nights. Say you've had problems with sleep for at least about 3 months and it's become a recurring problem. This may mean that you have a condition called insomnia, which you need to treat. And usually what we recommend treating with is a treatment called cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. And you should see a sleep specialist for that. These are just some practical steps. This is completely different. These are just some practical steps I want to provide you with to help you with your day, even if it seems like you had an awful night. The first thing I recommend is, even when you feel like you've been awake for a long period of time and your alarm goes up in the morning, there might be a tendency to just skip staying in bed. To jumpstart your day, I recommend getting up at the same scheduled time. I know it sounds rough, especially in those situations where maybe you've been off for a while and then you eventually started to ease into sleep and then that alarm goes off. You want to just hit snooze multiple times, but that's not the best. Get out of bed, get up and let your feet hit the floor. It's hard, but it's the best thing you can do. The reason why is the moment you wake up, you start to cue your body for sleep the next night. You start to build up that sleep pressure. So that's one. Get out of bed the moment that you've been scheduled to get up. The next is expose yourself to light. Light is one of the strongest cues. We call it Zeitgebers for our body's internal clock to know when we're going to be sleepy. And so when you expose yourself to light, open up those windows, get that light streaming in, step outdoors, you're essentially dropping that melatonin level and helping yourself really get perked up. And so that helps your mood. It also will help your sleep for the next night. And the best thing, if you, for example, have coffee in the morning, sit on the porch and have your coffee, go for a walk or something of that sort, just so they're getting that bright light. Whatever light, even if it's dark outside, if you're not able to get outside, just the light in your indoors is good enough, although outside light is even better. A third thing I recommend is drink lots of water. Make sure you're hydrated. Cold water is actually good. Now, there's not strong evidence for this, but this is something that I've observed. Just make sure you're as well hydrated as possible. That's something that definitely helps. Now, the next thing that I recommend is movement. Movement in form of physical activity, dance, walk, run, jog, whatever it is. And the reason why is when we exercise, it helps us build what we call that sleep pressure. And so what that does is make sure that we're able to get deep sleep during the night. So get out there. You get a 2-for-1. You get to stepping outside to take a walk or exercise will help you with your mood. It will help exposure to light, and also it will help you with further getting that sleep pressure up like you want. Now, another one thing that I want you to do is as you start to go through this motion, do some work on just speaking to yourself. You could have done that even before you wake up, but you may have been so groggy and already like, oh gosh, I don't even know what to do about this day. But in one way or the other, I want you to speak to yourself. So be your own self coach, be your own coach to say, I know I had a rough night. I know usually when my nights are rough like this, my day doesn't go as well as I want. But today I choose otherwise. Today I choose to be productive. Today I'm not going to let the type of night I had define what goes through my day. I'm going to be the one in charge. I'm going to choose the responses I have when my boss or my kids or somebody else triggers me off. And so confirm that with yourself and speak to yourself about that, so that it doesn't seem like the day is dictating your actions. You are the one that's dictating the actions, regardless of what the day brings to you. And this way, you can then look back and say, listen, I've had some nights that haven't gone so well, and I have aced things. I have gotten things done. I have been productive. So I can choose that my day or my night is not going to define what my day looks like. Even though I may be a bit tired, I'm going to get through it. I'm going to sleep better next night. So that's something that helps just with coaching ourselves and talking to ourselves. And the final, but again, not the least, and that's one thing I want you to know, there's no order of priority here. But one of the things that I would recommend finally is prioritizing safety. Again, this is a different issue from people who do have chronic insomnia. And if you do have chronic insomnia, these strategies will also work. But prioritizing safety first. Most of the time, people that have insomnia are what you call tired but wired. And so during the day, they may not necessarily be sleepy. They may feel exhausted, but they may not feel sleepy. And so one of your fears might be, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in a crash or things like that. And so if you do feel sleepy, if you do feel like I just can't keep my eyes open, I'm falling asleep at the street light, I'm hitting the rumble strip, I'm drifting several miles and missing my exit, you have to prioritize safety. So my recommendation is to stop and take a very short nap just to take the edge off. If you're not driving and things like that, then you may not need to do that. You may just need to push through, but prioritize safety to make sure that you are not driving sleepy. And that's just it. That's just something that's really, really important. Now, if you are going to take a nap because you feel like I just cannot cope anymore, my recommendation is that nap should have been earlier. Again, we want to try to build as much sleep pressure for the night as possible, so that we can sleep better at night. So again, here are a few tips. Prioritizing sleep is important, but then even if you have a situation where your sleep didn't go as you would like, it doesn't have to take over your day. You've got this. You can make it happen. Listen, if you are a busy professional mom, I am here for you. I actually coach moms and help them to understand sleep, to hold them accountable, to get them from drained and exhausted all the time to thriving and living their fullest potential. And I do this by helping you understand how to prioritize your sleep and eliminate the overwhelm so that you can get the sleep you need to thrive and be all that you've been called to be. The way to get through to get across to me is the best way is through the link that I'm going to put in the show notes on restfulsleepmd.com/work with me. And also, if this has been helpful, I would love it if you share this video, if you like and comment. And until next time, I hope you rest well.